Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll give you a look at the Tischer Box 200 demountable camper that we've been using for the last 8 months. So what I'll do first is I'll show you the outside of the camper, how it looks on the truck, the features and so on, and then we'll go and have a look inside, and I'll talk about how I found using the camper over the past few trips, pros and cons and just general thoughts. So let's get started. So I'll just give you a look at how the camper sits on the truck. This is just a standard European double cab pickup. It's a Hilux, but it will look similar on any of the available double cabs that you can get in the UK or on the continent. That's how it looks from the front. As you can see, it's fairly high. It stands at 3 meters tall once you've got it on the back of the pickup, so you do have to be aware of the heights on bridges and so on. But on the side you've got a big window here, which is the living area, and then just above that I've got an awning rail which I put on myself about a week ago. I haven't had the opportunity to use it yet. And then up there we've got an external light. We've got a little gas outlet here if you want to cook outside on a gas burner, and then we've got the LPG locker here. Now because this is a German model, it's designed for the 5 kilogram tanks that you get on the continent, and obviously we've got 6 kilogram ones here in the UK, and you can just about fit it in. You can see it's a bit of a squeeze there. You can get another one in there, but it is a bit of a jigsaw. But in here you've got a bit of extra space. You could perhaps get one of the smaller 2.5 kilogram ones in there if they still make them. I'm not entirely sure that colour do, but you can easily get 2 of these in, and a bit of extra stuff. You could store some tools in there if you wanted. Now I'll just quickly show you the other side before we have a look at the rear of the camper. Same on the other side, you've got a big window. We've got one on the bed there, a little window on the bed, and then you've got your hookup point here. If you're on a campsite and you want an electric hookup, just your standard 3-pin job, and you've got the vent for the Demountable fridge. So that's how it looks on the side. Now it does have obviously a big leg attached here, but they weigh about probably around 15 plus kilograms each, so I just take them off when we're on the road because I don't intend to take the camper off the pickup. So in this model, the Box 200, it doesn't have a washroom, doesn't have like a shower room, so the door is on the back. Some of the other models, they're slightly longer and they have the door down the side, but yeah, so the door is at the back here. Now if we look at the top, it does come, or it did come with a bike rack, which I've took off because I haven't got my bike with me. And then to the left of that we've got a pull down ladder which gives you access to the roof. Now up on the roof I've got a 250 watt solar panel which keeps the battery charged up in the camper and in the pickup, and once you've got enough sunlight there and you've got excess solar, it'll also power the fridge. And then there's the door, window at the back. Now I did fit this caravan door lock on because I'm not really that confident that this lock would survive any kind of assault on the door. You've got the loops here where the bike rack kind of slots into. Then just standard stuff, you've got your lights. I have fitted an aftermarket reverse camera on here, just one from Amazon, works pretty well. And then down here you've got the rear legs, so you just pull that pin out, lower it, and then you just wind these nuts in. There's one above each leg. You just rotate them and the leg comes down. And here you can see there's a retractable step. Now ideally I'd like there to be a double step unit on there because it is pretty high, so we do have a small step there which just does really help you when you're trying to get in. So that's what is around the back of the Tischer. So I've just opened a beer just to wet the whistle while I give you a tour of the interior of the camper. So cheers everyone. Now I'll go through the dimensions of the interior first just to give you a bit of an idea, because we're using a wide angle lens on the GoPro, so it's not going to look true to scale. So the entire length of the interior is 3 meters 60. So you've got the bed, which is 160 deep, 2 meters wide, and then this living area from the edge of the bed to the door is 2 meters, and it's 2 meters wide. So basically you've got 4 square meters. Height wise, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm 5'9", so it's probably 6'4" or something like that. Yeah, so I'll grab the GoPro and I'll just show you some of the features. We'll start off with the sleeping quarters. As I mentioned, you've got 160 by 2, so it's a big enough space. You do have a bit of a slant there towards the end. You've got a little window there, and then over there there's a unit. You've got a shelf, a little cupboard, there's a light underneath there and a USB socket. And we have these curtains which didn't actually come with the camper. Tris made them, but they worked great in the winter when we were in Scotland. When you just want to heat the main cab area on a night, you can just pull them across there and it keeps the heat in this area. It's a bit more fuel efficient on the gas, and it also like blacks out this sleeping area as well. I'll give you a look at this side. You've got a storage cupboard here and an identical storage cupboard there. Now we've got all of our clothes for the trip in this one, so there's plenty of room. You've got a light switch there which controls the lights underneath the cupboards and the lights up there. And then you've got your big window. You do have a blackout blind underneath here, a bug net and a little curtain that you can pull down. Seating area with a table. This is one of those, you know, kind of caravan motorhome tables. You can swivel it around, you can take it off. You can actually take this off and put it here on either side, and then these cushions fall down so you can have another bed here. So essentially it's a 3-berth camper, although really it's ideal for 2. On this side you've got your Truma controls for the gas heater, and then I've put some of these stretchy things in for me books, me map, my little French phrase book and shark cat. And then under here you've got the control unit for all the electronics. I fitted the solar panel myself, easily done, but that sorts all that. And then underneath there you've got a chemical toilet, and then behind there actually the water is stored just underneath here. This all lifts up and you can get in the back there, and there's 2 15-litre storage bottles for your water. So that's the sleeping area and the living area. You do have a sunroof there, a sunlight. Right, let's have a look at the kitchen. So the kitchen area here, it's about 1 metre. So this side is about 1 metre. So half of it's living quarters and the other half is your cooking area. So you've got another storage cupboard up here. Now this is where I keep me pots and pans and all my coffee making stuff, what have you. That all fits up there. There's another shelf down here where I just tend to keep the kitchen roll and stuff. Wine glasses, one of those little dehumidifiers, and you've got the control board here for all of your electrics, where you can kind of see what charge you're in. In the camper 13.5 at the minute, and in the truck 12.7. So the solar power will maintain both batteries, and you've got your tap on and off and your light outside and how much water is left in, which doesn't work at all. And on the side there I put another one of these up for my chopping boards. I've got one there for my oil, just keep me tea towels and that lying around. Fire extinguisher there. You've got a 3-pin plug that only works when you're on hookup, 2 USB plugs. Up here you've got the controls for the lights, the dimmer lights as well. I'll not put them on though because they just flicker on the camera. And then here you've just got your standard kind of camper van gas hob setup. We've got a 3-ring burner and then just a little 12-volt powered tap and sink. Now this is all cold water, there's no heating unit on this, so if you do want to wash up you just have to boil the water in your kettle. And then underneath here we've got a drawer with all the cutlery in, And then just more storage. As you can see, we've got plenty of storage for food and that. I've got my Trangia 25 unit in there for cooking outside. Same again on the other side here. Oh, just lost a jar of olives. We'll put them back. But yeah, there's plenty more storage there. And then I keep my water stashed down here for brews in the morning. I just screwed some of these little loops on, so that works good. And then you've got a little kitchen extension there if you want to prepare food. So yeah, that is that's the kitchen area. I did forget to show you this little cupboard under here which keeps the grey water. I think that's another 15 litre tank, and then you've got room for other stuff there. And then you've got the back door. You've got your little privacy curtain there, your lock there, and then that's the lock that I've fitted. You can actually lock this from the inside as well, so that's all good. I screw these hooks in up here as well just to hang stuff off. So this is the other side. So we'll start over here. Right at the bottom you've got a light. If you're coming in the dark you can press that and put the lights on in the camper. And then we've got a wardrobe here, shelf on top there, plenty of room in there for all your gear. We've got our hiking backpacks in there. This bin, I bought it from Amazon, just clips over the door, it's good enough. Then in here you've got more storage. We've just got all bits and bobs in here, bin liners, pegs, washing lines and what have you. Then underneath here we've got washing up tubs, a little monitor there for carbon monoxide. You've got all the electricity boards and that up there, and then this is the Truma heater. Haven't used that for a few months, but that blows warm air out of these 2 points here. And while I'm down here I'll show you this other storage cupboard. Just got me trainers in there and bits and bobs. Again, there's plenty of room in there. You can put your shoes in there, or water or what have you. And then we've got a 90 litre Demountable fridge here, a 3-way fridge. I'll just give you a look what's in there. Hopefully nothing will fall out. Yeah, plenty of room in there as well. Yeah, so that's like the you know, the kind of the kitchen area. And just one final thing, all the windows and the door do have these bug nets. Now I can tell you from experience that these do not keep out the Scottish midge. We were camping up Galloway Forest Park a couple of months ago, and we left the bedroom window open with the net up, and we woke up in the morning and there was thousands and thousands of midges in the sleeping area. It was a total nightmare. Wasps do find the way in as well, especially from this top thing here. They just kind of go to the sides and they get in. So I mean, they are effective to some level, but yeah, be warned if you're going to use one of these in Scotland, it's not midge proof. So I've shown you the outside of the Demountable and the inside, and now I'll just talk about getting the camper on and off and what upgrades, if any, the truck required. So it takes about half an hour to get it on and off. At the moment obviously it's on the truck, so when I get home I'll put the front legs on. You just wind the legs down after you've unplugged it all. There's about 4 turnbuckles that connect it to the truck bed, and then you've got 2 plugs. Unplug that, take the turnbuckles off, and you just wind the camper up. You drive away, you wind the camper down. It's as easy as that. Different models will have different systems, but this one's fairly straightforward. It takes half an hour because you only get about an inch grace either side on the tub, so you do have to make sure you take your time to reverse under so you don't start knocking things about. What I've done here is I've put a piece of black tape on, and that just allows me to line up the truck bed with that, just so I don't damage it while I'm doing that. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I can't ever see myself going on a trip and taking this off. But you could do if you wanted, if you were going for a 2-week trip somewhere and you had a big base camp, you were staying at a campsite, you could easily demount it and take it off, you know, without too much hassle. Yeah, so that's that. What else was I going to talk about? Right, the modifications. So this is the only model. Apologies for the noise. We're in Champagne at the moment, and there's some excellent motorbike roads just behind me. So as far as modifications go, this model doesn't require any. It's the lightest model that Tischer makes. Its dry weight is 530 kilograms, which I believe is exactly half of the payload of the Hilux. So you don't need to do anything with the suspension, you just whack it on. It drives fine, it handles fine. I mean, obviously you're carrying half a ton, so it handles like a pickup that's carrying half a ton basically. But other than that, yeah, no problems. MPG, I haven't really sweated too much about it, but I noticed over the few weeks without the camper on, I was filling the tank up, and the dashboard on the computer on the dashboard was giving me 430 miles range per full tank, and with this on this trip, it's now at 370. So that's like, you know, you're losing 60 miles per tank. But a lot of the driving we've done here has been on the motorways at 60 plus miles an hour. So I'll just talk about the cost of these demountables and where I bought this one from. Right, so where I bought it from first, I'll go through that. So I bought it from a chap called Nolan, who has a small company called NSR Leisure, and it's only a weekend business, but he deals in demountables. He used to have a rooftop tent on his 4x4. I think he bought one of these 20 odd years ago. He got hooked on them, and now he sells them. He's based down in Carmarthen, South Wales. He used to be the UK's dealer for Tischer, but he no longer is, but he has different brands in there. I'll put a link to his website and to his Facebook page below. It's best to contact him through Facebook. Really nice guy, really knowledgeable. We bought this off him. He done all the fittings, he put the electrics in under the bonnet and the loops to fasten it down. So yeah, can't recommend NSR Leisure highly enough. He knows what he's doing. Now the cost, you know, they're so niche. Demountables are so niche. It's such a small market that these things certainly do not come cheap. For example, this one, the Tischer Box 200, it's their cheapest demountable, and if you buy it from the manufacturer, it'll cost you a minimum of 30,000 euros, or you can just buy the shell without anything in for about, I don't know, 15 or 16 or something, and then kit it out yourself. I mean, they're just so niche, you know. Like if you've got a pickup truck for work, you could buy one of these instead of a caravan or having a separate camper van or motorhome, and it does make economic sense. I mean, that's why we bought one, you know, because we've got the truck anywhere. We can just leave the camper at home, use the truck, and have almost like a little micro motorhome for trips like this. Yeah, so that's it. In terms of where you buy these things from, there is actually another dealer down in Lincolnshire who deals in the North Star campers, but I think that's the only two that I know of in the UK that deal in the kind of motorhome style demountables. There's a few other manufacturers that make the more off-road ones, but to be honest, I don't really know any of them. I'm not an expert, but I have seen bits and bobs on social media about these kind of low profile demountables. But yeah, what else? I'm just trying to get as much information over as I can, because when we started looking into demountables, I just couldn't find any information. We went into it kind of blind, to be honest, but so far so good. It's working out for us. So comfort wise, oh bloody hell. So in terms of comfort, you know, you've got a living space of like 4 square meters, but I think that this Tischer is really well designed. That's why, the hell is that? That's why we chose the Tischer over the North Star models. It's just, the space is actually quite livable, believe it or not. What you've got to do is just make sure that if someone's cooking dinner or making a cup of tea, the other person just has to be sat down or on the bed. You know, you can't like mill around each other. I mean, Triss is only small. I mean, I'm not too big either, so it just works for us, you know, as long as you stick to the rules. And I guess if you come in, like we've come to this from a, you know, rooftop tent, where if you've watched the channel for a while, you'll have seen us do these adventures, and it was great for getting off road, but the rooftop tent wasn't great for this type of stuff. Like, we've just spent 10 days now just driving around France, up in the Vosges du Nord, using the parking spaces, the airs and all that. But yeah, I mean, what you can do with the Demountable as well, if you did want to go off-road, you can just demount it, leave it at a campsite and do a day's off-roading. But I'll be honest, I think I've done everything that I wanted to do on dirt tracks, you know, the trips we've done in Spain and down in Morocco over the years. I mean, I'll still easily take this up to Sweden and do those kind of dirt road trips up there. But yeah, my idea was to just get something like this so we can come and do trips like this. We've you know, to get our fix of wilderness, we just get out hiking, or you know, when I was in Spain, I took my mountain bike and just went and done day rides on the tracks there, which, you know, I enjoy that equally as much as I did doing any of the off-road trips. Although it was always nice to spend the evening camping in the Pyrenees and places like that. But I mean, you could still do it. But anyway, that's probably a whole different discussion. So, right, what else? Yeah, so I've covered comfort, the cost. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's that. So I'm going to sign off. I've got some wine that I need to drink. We've actually bought a little bit too much, so I don't want to get caught going through customs carrying too much wine, because then you've got to pay duty on everything that you've brought. So I've got some serious drinking to do. It's almost 4 o'clock on a Saturday, so it's fairly acceptable. So I'm going to go and do that, guys, and sign off. So if you've got any comments about the Demountable or anything, I'll try my best to answer them. I'm not an expert, but you know, we've only owned this thing for 8 months, so it's a bit of a learning curve for us as well. So I'll do my best to answer any questions. So yeah, I'm going to sign off. So as ever, thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next one.